Hello and welcome to Knife Delights. This is an open tag response to What's the Point EDC. He wanted to see 10 USA made fixed blade knives. I'm also combining this with a Way Back Wednesday, a great open tag started by Warthog. Because this open tag fits into both categories here. And I'm going to take a cue from Big J at Big J's Knives. He decided on his 10 USA made fixed blades to show 10 different companies. And so that's what I have on the table here today. So we're going to go kind of rapid fire. I've done pretty much individual reviews on all of these knives. If I have the chance, I'll link the actual review down in the description box if you want to know more about these knives. So we're going to start off at the top. This one is most special for one reason. This is my father's fillet knife, and it is a K-bar. And as you can see, USA. It's the K-bar Pro Fisherman. And that's what she looks like right there. K-bar Pro Fisherman. Now I sent this sheath off to John over at J.O. Ventures Outdoors. He did some restitching and repair work on this and got it all shined up. Really refurbished this leather sheath. It looks wonderful, John. Thanks again. Okay, so there's number one. Where do we go next? Number two, probably my most historical knife under the special category, not the right sheath, is this Marbles. Marbles Woodsman. And it's special because on the tang, you see Marbles, Michigan, USA, and on the pile side, you see patent pending. This knife was designed in 1914, and in 1916, they received the patent for it. So that means this knife was probably made in 1915, and it's probably one of the earliest versions of this model of Marbles knife. It features stacked leather handle and a stag pommel. The other interesting thing about this knife is you'll see the very short handle on it. The designer of the knife did not believe in having big handles because he always figured you should be pinching up here on the blade as you're doing your skinning and things like that. So due to customer demand, though, Marbles did eventually, a few years later, make a more longer handle for it. So there it is, the Marbles Woodsman from, around 1915. Moving along, what should we go next? This is probably one of my latest purchases. Again, got this on a shopping trip with Big J in an antique store. This is a Gerber Mark I dagger, made in the USA, made probably back in the 1980s, and it is a boot knife. You can see the clip here to clip it down into your boot. So there you go, the Gerber Mark I. What's next? This is a fascinating piece here. This is a Marbles. Marbles. And Marbles was bought out by Imperial. But what makes this interesting is this sheath. Because you see it has a little pouch on the front here on the sheath. That's because it was a two-piece set. You also got this Marbles camp knife with it. And that went down in there. Such as that. So there you go. Marbles fixed blade. Speaking of Imperial, here's an Imperial fixed blade. Got a moose on it. We were discussing that the other day on RJ's Live. I believe that to be a moose. Of course, Faw Stag handle here. Imperial USA. And I got this one because on this sheath here, this is a commemorative knife. They used to get together in Boone's Lick, Missouri for a remembrance from the Lewis and Clark expedition. And I am a descendant of William Clark, so this kind of made this a special knife for me too. All right. Now we'll get a couple Case family knives. Well, I'll say Case family because this is an actual Case knife. See there? And this is what the 3 323-5, so it's a 5-inch knife. It's an advertising knife for Morton Buildings from 2017. And that's why you see the M on the sheath. And Morton Buildings, they're metal buildings. They're popular here in the Midwest. A lot of farmers put them up for machine sheds and the like. So there's a case. And case family, this is a Kinsman. Nope, Kinfolks. Kinfolks, U.S.A. And the Kinfolks was started by some Case relatives. And it was started out to help Case. Case was way behind after World War I. As far they couldn't keep up with the demand for their fixed blade knives. So other members of the Case family started Kinfolks and made a lot of fixed blade knives. So a Case relative. Pretty neat old knife here. I love the sheath, the scroll work in that leather. So yep, Kinfolks. Well, since we're doing Case family, might as well do this Western here. This is not the proper sheath for it. I found it in an antique store, and this is a sheath it came in, but it's not the right sheath. So here's a Western U.S.A. And it is the W66. Of course, the W standing for the wood handles. And I say Case family because the owner or founder of Western Knives, he moved to Colorado, and he was married to the sister of the Case brothers. So, yeah, Case family, their reach went far and wide. A lot of different family members, a lot of different interaction between the different Case knife companies. All right, let's get down here. We're getting close to the end now. What do we got here? Oh yeah, this is the Schrade. And it's a Schrade Super Sharp. And you see the Schrade Plus on it there. That means they've switched to at the time, a newer stainless steel type blade. And this is the Schrade Golden Spike. And here's the sheath. It comes for a place for the stone, and I had a viewer send me a stone. I took it out because I was using it, and I forgot to put it back in. But the little spot for a stone. These are still available, but they're, nowadays they're made in China under the Schrade name. But this is a Schrade U.S.A. knife. Look at, nice leather sheath, nice and thick. It's withstood the test of time. Okay, another historic knife I found. I found this in a antique store down in Missouri, down in the Ozarks. I believe this to be the original sheath because it does have the Remington UMC button up here. But I think somebody did some fancy scroll work, or they took this sheath apart. Looks like they restitched it. And looks like there's some initials and stuff stamped down in here. So I think this is the original sheath, but somebody personalized it. It's in kind of rough shape. That leather's really brittle. And this is the RH, what do we got here? Remington RH-28 fixed blade knife. This was made sometime in the 30s. This is not the original handle. Somebody put this nice wood handle on it. Originally the knives were made with black synthetic, not Bakelite, but something like that, and it was kind of checkered and this and that. So it's not the original handle, but it's still a fine example of an old Remington knife. Now, Remington knife was bought out by DuPont somewhere in the early 30s, and then in around 1940 or 41, DuPont sold out lock, stock, and barrel to PAL Knives. So yes, Remington used to have all of their own equipment and make all their own knives. But like I said, they sold all their equipment and everything to PAL Knives. So anything after like 1940 or 41, any Remington knife, well, that's going to be a contract knife. But yeah, there you have it. 10 knives, 10 different, 10 USA made knives from 10 different makers. This was certainly a fun open tag. Thank you, What's the Point EDC. Thank you, Warthog. I just love these kinds of open tags because I get to show knives that I don't normally get to show a lot. So down here in the lower right hand corner, well, that's a link to my playlist. Down here in the center, that big round knife delight, so I hit that if you'd like to subscribe. And down here in the lower left hand corner, well, that's just the next video that YouTube thinks you should watch. So until next time, have a very delightful day.